Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial. We're back in Unreal Engine 4 and we're working on our shooting range. So the last time we left off, we really had just scores updating properly as we shot it, which is good. And then we have it when they spawn. We reset the timer. Everything's good for that. So what I want to do now is actually put on screen basically just messages about what each value of the actual target was when you shot it. Kind of like Borderlands style is just when you shoot at the enemy, the numbers kind of fly out showing you how much damage you've done. Kind of want to do the same kind of effect. So we're going to need to do a couple things. First, we're going to need to go into our HUD because it's going to be displayed in the HUD. We're going to have to create a couple of different variables here. So what we're going to need to do, first we're going to create a custom event. And we're going to call this draw score value text. And we're going to need to do a couple things with this custom event. On the side here, we'll have inputs where it'll show inputs going in. What we're going to need to do is we're eventually going to get an X and Y position. So let's start with those. Those are going to be floats. I'm going to call this screen X. Do another one, screen Y. And we're also going to need an integer for our actual score value. So integer, I'll just do score value. And that's all we need for this event. So let's compile that and save it. The next part of our work is going to be back in the disk itself. We have the print string here. That's just basically printing the value of the score. So what we need to do, luckily we have a HUD reference variable already, so let's hold down Control, left click, drag that out to get that, and then we're going to do draw score value text. And when we do that, because of the inputs we made, we have them available here. So let's plug that in. Let's get that going. But now we're going to need to create the actual variables that we'll need. So what we're going to do is we're going to get the world position of the actual disk. When it's shot, we're going to get the world position. We're going to convert that into screen space, an X and Y coordinate. So what we're going to need to do, we need to grab a get player controller. And then we need to do convert. And let's uncheck context sensitivity. And we're going to do convert world location to screen location. And now we need to kind of grab the world location of what we want. So it's going to be our SM sphere DM. That's going to be our actual disk. Let's grab that. And let's do get world location. Let's plug that right in there. So now what we need to do, we're going to get screen location. We're going to break this into a vector 2D. And then we can just put this into screen X, put that into screen Y. And then all we have to do now is get a score value, that variable we created from a few videos back. We just need to plug that in. So that's all that needs to be done in the disk. So let's go back into the HUD. And we only want we only want these numbers to appear once the disk is destroyed. So we need to set up some conditions here. So let's get a gate. The enter of this gate is just going to be the continuation of our draw text. Just because every text we end up drawing has to first come from event receive draw HUD. So we have to kind of just follow the path along. But we're going to have an enter here, so it's always going, but it's only going to open once this event is called, when the disk is destroyed. And then exit is going to be our draw text. So let's go ahead and just copy and paste one of these. Put exit in here. The score value is going to be the text we're going to draw. And then text color, let's just make this green. So everything's 0 except for alpha and the G, they're both 1. So screen Y is going to be something we're going to have to do something special because I want this number to move as it's going. So what we're going to need to do is basically we're going to promote this to a variable. So we're going to call this score screen or score Y position. Plug that in, put that back into the open, and then we're going to get this, set this to screen Y. Screen X can just go in, that doesn't matter. But now what we need to do is create a timeline that moves the position of our Y position for our number. So we're going to need a sequence, I know that much, so let's just get a sequence going just to have it. But now let's right click, scroll the way down, do add timeline. I'm just going to name this Y position or score Y position, or not, let's just call this score position Y. Double click on that, add a float track, we're just going to call this Y position. Going to make this about 1.5 seconds. Holding down shift, we're going to left click twice just to get two basic nodes in there, or keyframes. First keyframes could be 0, 0. The other one's going to be 1.5 and 1. Just so it goes from 0 to 1 in 1.5 seconds. That's all we really need. So we're going to go to sequence, go to play from start. And now what we're going to need to do is copy and paste the score Y position. And we're going to need to grab a lerp. So drag out the float from our timeline. Just type in lerp, just do a float. We're going to change that this goes into alpha. And then into A is going to be score Y position. And then into B, we want it to basically move from where its position is to where its position is plus 30. We're going to get a plus for float, add 30 to it, plug that in, and then we need to grab our score Y position, alt left click drag just so it's a set. We're going to grab the update, and we're going to plug it in, and the result of this linear interpretation is going to be into our set. And then in the second pinhole of the sequence, we're going to grab a delay, so if you just hold down D and just left click, we're going to make this about 2 seconds, plug that in, and then the completion of this delay, it's going to close this gate, so it undraws the text after 2 seconds. So that should be everything we need. Let's go ahead and play. So spawn one, and there we go. And after 2 seconds, it goes away. And it shows us our value. So that's really all we need, but now I'm noticing an issue here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but we have our counter. It tells us how long the actual disk is alive. So when I shoot it, it keeps counting where it shouldn't do that. So let's figure that out too as well. So it should be right here where we need to set the disk life to 0. So let's just grab all of this jazz. Let's move it up a little bit. Disconnect this. Let's get our character reference because that's where our disk life is. Set. We gotta do set disk life or not. Should be in here. We don't have context sensitive on. That's my fault. Get disk life. I'm sorry, no. We gotta set disk life. We're gonna set that to 0. And let's see if that corrects the issue. Okay. I know what the problem is. Okay, So we need to put this after the calculation of the score is done, because if we set that to 0 right here, everything's going to get multiplied by 0, and as a result, it's going to be either 0 or a negative number. So let's do it here. So after we get the score, let's plug it into there. And then we have this check to make sure it's not equal to 0. Let's see if that fixes it. Okay, so we got it almost close. What we need to do last here is grab the character reference again, and we have to set is disk alive to false. Plug that in, and plug that back into there. That way it stops counting for sure. So let's see this again. And we got it working. Perfect. So that's really it. So we have the point value being displayed on screen where you shoot it. It adds to the score value, keeps track of score. So all we really have to do now is basically clean things up, get things organized a little bit better, organize our variables, get all that in check, and then also control, when we're able to play, when we're not able to play, things like that. But that'll be the next tutorial. I just wanted this one to focus on that ability to draw our text to the HUD and have it move. And if you want it to move the other way, you can just go into the HUD, scroll down here. You can do like -50, and it'll move upwards instead of down. So let's show you that. And that's, it's a fun thing that we'll to have, just to, as a visual thing, as a learning kind of thing as well, just working with the HUD. So this was a quick tutorial, wasn't much in it, but it had some valuable information, I think. So if you agree, if you think this information was good, definitely like the video, subscribe if you haven't to my channel for more information about this. We have more Unreal Engine 4 tutorials, we have UDK tutorials, we have a lot of different things going on here at this channel. So also comment with, if you need help with anything, if you have questions or anything like that, or suggestions for other things to work on. And again, thanks for watching. That's all I really have to say. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.